Welcome to the deep dive. You've given us your sources, and, well, we're here to dig into them and pull out what really matters.
That's the plan.
So today, we're jumping into the world of AI models. Specifically, we're looking at material from the Model Mind podcast. They did some interesting comparisons.
Yeah, they tested DeepSeek, Claude, and ChatGPT-4 in some pretty practical ways.
Exactly. And this is for you, the listener, maybe someone trying to figure out which AI tool actually works best for specific tasks, without getting totally swamped by jargon.
Cutting through the noise.
Right. So our mission today, figure out the strengths, the weaknesses of these three AIs, DeepSeek, Claude, ChatGPT-4, across a few key areas. We're talking content creation, coding, customer support, and research.
All based on those tests from the Model Mind. It gives us some real-world grounding.
Okay, let's get into it. First up, content creation. This is huge for so many people, right? Blogging, marketing, copy, even just like emails.
Absolutely. So the test was simple. Give all three the same prompt. Write a 200-word blog post on why creativity is essential in business.
Okay, standard stuff. So how did DeepSeek do?
DeepSeek's output was solid, clear, logical structure, got the points across.
But I sense a but.
Yeah, but it lacked a certain flair. It read a bit like a textbook summary. Informative, sure, but not exactly engaging.
Okay, so structured, maybe a bit formal. What about Claude?
Claude was different. The source material highlighted its smooth style, very conversational, good readability.
So it sounded more human.
Definitely. It felt more natural, easier to connect with. If you want something that doesn't scream, AI wrote this, Claude seemed to be the winner on that front.
Interesting. Good for like blog posts or emails where you want that approachable tone.
For sure. Then there was ChatGPT-4.
And how did that compare?
Well, it wasn't just good writing. The source called it inspired writing. They specifically mentioned a metaphor it used, describing creativity as the oxygen of innovation.
Oh, wow. Okay. That's definitely more creative. That paints a picture.
Exactly. It showed a spark of originality that the others didn't quite match in this test. It seemed to make connections beyond just summarizing facts.
So pulling that together for content creation, if you need structure and formality, maybe DeepSeek.
Seems like you're...
For a really natural conversational tone, maybe Claude.
Yeah, Claude nails that human touch.
But for that spark, that originality, ChatGPT-4 came out on top in this test.
That's what the results suggest. It really depends on what you're writing.
Makes sense. Okay, let's shift gears. Coding. This is relevant if you're technical or maybe you manage tech team.
Right. The task here was pretty practical. Create a Python script. It needed to scrape a website, process some data, and then spit it out as a CSV file.
Okay, a common enough task for developers. How did they handle it? Let's start with DeepSeek again.
DeepSeek was fast, like impressively fast, and it used modern Python libraries, which is good.
Okay, speed is nice. Any downsides?
Big one, actually. It apparently hallucinated function names, made them up.
Whoa, okay. What does that mean in practice?
It means the code looks plausible, but it just won't work. It's calling things that don't exist. And, for a beginner, that's really dangerous. You wouldn't necessarily know why it's failing.
Right, you'd just be stuck. So fast, but potentially flawed. Needs checking.
Definitely needs expert verification. Now, Claude took a very different approach.
How so?
Much more cautious. It included disclaimers about scraping ethics, added lots of comments explaining the code.
Ah, the responsible one?
Kind of, yeah. It warned about ethical scraping. So clarity and caution seem to be its priorities.
Okay, valuable in its own way. And ChatGPT-4.
ChatGPT-4 apparently nailed it. Clean code, good structure, very few bugs reported.
So it just worked?
Pretty much. But the key thing, according to the source, was why it was better, especially for learning. It actually explained why it chose certain methods or libraries.
Oh, that's useful, like having a tutor built in.
Exactly. It's not just giving you fish, it's teaching you how to fish, so to speak.
That's a great way to put it. And wasn't there a bonus round? Something about refactoring.
Yeah. They gave it some legacy code to clean up. ChatGPT-4 apparently refactored it and explained the performance benefits of the changes.
Okay, that is next level. Understanding and optimizing.
Right. So for coding, the takeaway seems to be ChatGPT-4 wins on reliability and that teaching aspect.
Got it. Claude is the careful, clear communicator.
And DeepSeek offers speed, but use with caution. Verify everything.
Okay, good summary. Let's move on to customer support. How well can these AIs handle interacting with people?
This is tricky, right? Needs empathy, accuracy, tone.
Totally. So the test involved 5 standard customer questions. How did they stack up?
Well, Claude apparently crushed the empathy part. The description was great, like your best friend who also reads every FAQ.
Huh, I like that. So friendly, knowledgeable, and understanding.
Seems so. Really strong for brands where that high-touch, empathetic feel is important.
Makes sense. What about ChatGPT-4?
ChatGPT-4 was described as sharp, quick, confident, and accurate. Gets the job done efficiently.
Is there a but again?
A potential one. It could sometimes be too direct. Might depend on your brand voice, you know? Sometimes accurate isn't enough if the tone feels cold.
Yeah, we've all had those interactions. Correct, but not exactly warm.
Right. So, great for scaling fast with accurate answers, but maybe need some fine-tuning on the tone for certain situations.
Okay. And DeepSeek?
Efficient again, but the word used was robotic.
Ah, not great for customer-facing chat then.
Probably not. The suggestion was it's maybe better suited for like internal support tickets or back-end tasks where pure efficiency matters more than personality.
Right, where it's just about processing information quickly.
Exactly.
So for customer support, Claude for empathy, ChatGPT-4 for speed and accuracy with tone caveats. DeepSeek maybe more for internal stuff.
That sums it up well.
All right, final area, research. Helping you understand complex stuff. This really speaks to our learner-listener.
Yeah, how good are they at explaining things and digging deeper? The task was quantum computing, explain it simply, then handle follow-up questions.
Ooh, quantum computing. Not easy. How did DeepSeek handle that?
Interestingly, DeepSeek provided the most citations. It even brought up newer research papers, which is pretty impressive for staying current.
That does sound good, but...
But some of those citations apparently didn't actually exist.
Oh, dear. Hallucinating sources now.
Seems like it. So you can pull a lot of info, maybe even cutting-edge stuff, but you absolutely have to check its references. Critical verification needed.
Good reminder. Don't blindly trust the citations. What about Claude?
Claude's strength was clarity. It gave beautifully clear explanations, made the complex topic the easiest to follow.
So the teacher of the group.
Exactly. If you need to genuinely understand a difficult concept, Claude seems great at breaking it down.
And ChatGPT-4.
It was called super flexible. You could really dig in, ask what-if questions, explore different angles. It maintained logical connections throughout.
More like a conversation.
Yeah, the source said even with curveball questions, it responded like a professor with a whiteboard. Really good for that kind of interactive dialogue-based exploration.
Okay, interesting differences. So, for research. DeepSeek for casting a wide net for info, but verify everything.
Critically important, yes.
Claude is your go-to for clear, easy-to-understand explanations.
The master explainer.
And ChatGPT-4 shines when you want to really explore a topic interactively, ask lots of questions, go depth.
Perfect for that exploratory learning style.
So when you pull it all together from this deep dive into the model mind, the big takeaway is pretty clear, isn't it?
Definitely. There's no single best AI.
Right. It's all about the workflow. The best AI is the one that's best for your specific task.
Precisely. You need to match the tool to the job.
So just to quickly recap the recommendations we pulled from the source, ChatGPT-4 seems strong for creativity, coding reliability, and flexible research.
Yep, a real powerhouse in those areas.
Claude excels in natural tone, clear explanations, and that crucial empathy for customer support.
Really shines for communication and clarity.
And DeepSeek offers speed and structured output, great for maybe initial drafts or data processing, but always with that big caveat. Check its work, especially citations and code specifics.
Speed comes with responsibility, let's say.
Huh, well put. And the model mind had that bonus tip too, right? Like a potential workflow.
Oh yeah, that was neat. Use Claude for initial brainstorming, getting ideas flowing naturally.
Okay.
Then maybe use ChatGPT-4 to actually build on those ideas, do the heavy lifting of creation or coding.
Right, the building phase.
And then maybe use DeepSeek for a final fast sanity check on data or structure, keeping its verification needs in mind.
That's actually a really practical way to think about using them together, a multi-tool approach.
Yeah, leveraging each one's strengths.
Well, that wraps up our deep dive for today, looking at how these different AI models perform in the real world. Hopefully, this gives you, our listener, a clearer picture of which tool might fit your needs best.
Hope it was helpful.
And hey, if you found this helpful, navigating the ever-changing AI landscape, do make sure you subscribe to Echoes of the Past. We'll have more deep dives coming your way.
Definitely subscribe.
And remember, while AI is getting incredibly smart, it still probably can't figure out where that missing sock went. Until next time.